Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha. Let's begin with the main stories. Parliament continues neglecting important public issues. Lawmakers given a week-long leave despite rising heinous crimes and natural disasters. The trend of political leaders going abroad for medical treatments continues. Well-equipped VIP treatment units at the Bir Hospital remain vacant. The U.S. says it will impose fresh sanctions on Russia after determining it used a nerve agent against a former Russian double agent living in the UK. And Nepalese cricketers who just debuted in the one-day internationals deprived of their salaries for the past 19 months. The Parliament is an institution responsible not just for discussing bills and forming or dissolving governments, but also for discussing issues of public interest. There are over a dozen laws that need to be formed in order to address the issues of flood and natural disasters, and as of recent, grave incidents like kidnapping, murder, and rape that need to be discussed and addressed by the Parliament. However, the meeting of the Parliament has been pushed back by a week, further delaying the implementation of the Constitution. Recently, the general public's security has been threatened with a series of incidents of murder, rape, and kidnapping taking place in various places across the country. Likewise, the general public has also been suffering from natural disasters like flood and landslides on the one hand, while on the other, muddy roads and pollution have not given any respite to the urban population. Instead of raising these issues of the general public at the Parliament and seeking the attention of the government to hold serious discussions, the lawmakers have been given a week-long leave. The parliamentary meeting has been postponed by a week, and the lawmakers have said the government has not been able to give them business. The parliamentary meetings have been held and postponed for the same reason several times in the past. The Parliament also acts as a bridge by taking the voice of the people to the government. However, the continuous postponement of the parliamentary meetings and lawmakers staying on leave solely because the government has not given them business has impeded public issues from entering the Parliament. It is also the responsibility of the government to issue bills and give jobs to the lawmakers. There are 31 additional laws that need to be formulated. So far, the Parliament has proposed for the third amendment of the Public Security Act and has sent an ordinance for national medical education and audit testing to their respective committees. However, these proposals have not been evaluated for further discussions as the parliamentary committees themselves are in a state of confusion, which only shows the Parliament's lack of accountability. Despite the availability of treatment facilities for VIPs and VVIPs in Nepal, the trend of going abroad to seek medical care has not stopped. The well-facilitated treatment unit made for the VIP and VIPs at the first floor of Bir Hospital remains to be used. Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deuba left for Singapore for his treatment yesterday afternoon. Prior to this, Nepal Communist Party leader Jhalanath Khanal had reached China for kidney stone and parathyroid operation. Nepal Communist Party Joint Chairman Pushpakamal Dahal had also reached Singapore last June with his wife Sita for health checkup. These are just a few examples. From the Prime Minister to senior political leaders, most of them regularly go abroad in the name of medical checkup. Only a few go on such medical tours at their own expenses, while most of them use the state funds. A well-facilitated treatment center has been established at Bir Hospital to avoid unnecessary expenses by VIPs in foreign nations. The cabins for VIPs and VVIPs at Bir Hospital are no less than rooms at star hotels. Despite the rare use of the VIP facility, no one has stepped inside the VVIP facility yet. According to doctors, the treatment of VIPs is possible in Nepal. In recent time, Nepal's treatment procedure, human resource, and technology is competitive in the international level. Senior doctors opine that the trend of abusing state coffers in the name of treatments that are already possible in Nepal should be put to an end. The public may lose faith in the medical service of the nation as political leaders and VIPs continue to go abroad, even for basic health-related issues. Therefore, it would be better if they seek medical services within the country and economize state funds. A bilateral meeting to review the trade treaty between Nepal and India is scheduled to begin this week. In addition to the issues of promoting transit and facilitating trade between Nepal and India that had been the focus of previous discussions, the two sides are to discuss on facilitating Indian investments in Nepal. The last time the Nepal-India trade treaty was reviewed was in 2009. Nepal's trade deficit with India since then has been on the rise every year. In order to deal with the increasing trade deficit, the governments of both the countries had agreed to review the trade treaty in the Intergovernmental Committee meeting held on 29th of April this year. Experts from the Nepalese side have opined a need for expanding the trade treaty if Nepal is to decrease its deficit. Nepal will present its agenda in the first trade treaty review meeting this week, and an amendment is expected to take place within 3 months of the meeting. Based on the data provided by the Export Promotion Center, Nepal's trade deficit with India has crossed 764 billion rupees. The amount covers 2/3 of Nepal's total annual trade. However, investments from India have not been as encouraging. Experts have thus opined an amendment that encourages investments from India as necessary. Former Finance Secretary Purushottam Oza has said the Nepal government needs to levy tax on agricultural products imported from India in order to deal with the increasing trade deficit. In several instances so far, exports of products like ginger, cardamom, and tea to India have been hindered time and again, and the network responsible to facilitate smooth export operation has remained ineffective. It is therefore important for the trade treaty review meeting to come up with solutions to such problems at the earliest. Yesterday, we asked the locals in Chitwan and Kaski what they think of leaders going abroad for medical treatments when adequate medical facilities are available here in Nepal. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
जनता यहाँ चाहिँ सरकारी हस्पिटलमा चाहिँ एउटा सिटामोल खान नपाउने स्थिति छ। नेताहरू भने चाहिँ उहाँ चाहिँ के अरे हाम्रो एयर एम्बुलेन्स के चढेर चाहिँ कहिले बैंकक कहिले सिङ्गापुर कहिले कहाँ यो चाहिँ राम्रो भएन।
प्रवृत्ति नै गलत हो, उहाँहरुमा भएको बुझाइ नै गलत हो।
यहीँको हस्पिटलमा उपचार गराएर हाम्रो यहीँको सबै कुरा क्यापेबल छ, यो हस्पिटल उचित छ भन्ने पार्न पर्ने हो। तर नेतृत्व गर्ने नै बाहिर गइसकेपछि त जनताहरूले त्यो कुरामा कसरी विश्वस्त हुने।
ढुकुटी रित्याउने, विदेश सयर गर्ने, त्यस सँगसँगै एउटा बहाना चाहिँ उपचारको बहाना बनाएर विदेश घुम्ने एउटा बहाना मात्रै हो।
नेताको जीवन चाहिँ देशको लागि अति महत्त्वपूर्ण, सर्वसाधारणको जीवन चाहिँ केही पनि होइन। ठुलाले मात्रै बाँच्न पाउनुपर्छ, सानोले चाहिँ बाँच्नै पर्दैन भन्ने किसिमको सोच जुन किसिमको विकसित भइरहेको छ ठुला मान्छेहरुमा, नेताहरुमा, त्यसको परिणाम हो।
It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: why have the national cricket players not received their salaries for the past 19 months? Your options are A, absence of authorized association, and B, not in government's priority. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A or B, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for sports news.
Sports news.
Cricketers in other nations are paid bonuses for their good performance in international tournaments or series, which further motivates the players. In a very sharp contrast, the story in Nepal is quite a tragic one. Nepal debuted at the one-day internationals against hosts Netherlands last week and exhibited a strong performance by tying the series 1-1. Many may not believe the plight that the players who exhibited great performance at the series have not received their salaries for the past 19 months. They have been playing for the country without receiving any salary, facility, or benefits. When the Nepalese team takes the field, the plight does not reflect on their faces. They put in all of their efforts with a winning mentality. While the players are compelled to train under dilapidated facilities, they have been playing for the nation without receiving their salaries for the past 19 months. The life of the Nepalese cricketers is not as easy as many would imagine.
गाह्रो छ सबभन्दा खुसी त्यही मैले भने क्रिकेट ग्राउन्डभित्र हुँदाखेरि हो त्यो भनौँ न ब्याटिङ गर्दा बलिङ गर्दा फिल्डिङ गर्दा धेरै कुरा सोच्नै पर्दैन खालि टिमलाई कसरी जिताउने कसरी राम्रो पर्फर्म गर्ने भनेर त्यसपछि आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ देयर लट अफ च्यालेन्जेस अब क्याम्पहरू कसरी कन्डक्ट गर्ने प्लेयर्सहरूलाई कसरी म्यानेज गर्ने
Before being dissolved by the International Cricket Council (ICC), the Cricket Association of Nepal had made a provision to provide 5,000 to 35,000 rupees to the players classified into A, B, C and D categories. With ensuring good performance, cricketers, like everyone else, also have to bear the responsibilities of their families. There is no arrangement of adequate financial rewards for the Nepalese cricketers for winning international titles. In such a situation, the question that remains unanswered is how the players go about their daily lives.
एकदम गाह्रो छ हैन अब फ्यामिली झन् अब कतिजना अब अलिकति भनौँ न मैले त बारम्बार भनिरहेको कुरा अब नेसनल प्लेयरहरू अहिले अब स्यालेरी पाएको छ त्योभन्दा अगाडि यताउता इन्सेन्टिभ्सहरू आएर त्यसको भरमा अब कसैले जबहरू अफर गरेर आजभोलि अलिकति कर्पोरेटबाट पनि हेल्प आइरहेको छ त्यसले गर्दा अलि सजिलो भइरहेछ तर त्यो पनि गिनचुनेर मात्र भनौँ न भइरहेछ.
There is no department at the moment which should heed to the voices of the players who just represented the nation at the ODI stage. When the team loses, these players take the responsibilities. But when they perform well, all they receive is a congratulatory note. And now, before wrapping up, here's a look at the stories once again. Parliament continues neglecting important public issues. Lawmakers given a week-long leave despite rising heinous crimes and natural disasters. The trend of political leaders going abroad for medical treatments continues. Well-equipped VIP treatment units at Beer Hospital remain vacant. The US says it will impose fresh sanctions on Russia after determining it used nerve agent against a former Russian double agent living in the UK. And Nepalese cricketers who just debuted in the one-day internationals deprived of their salaries for the past 19 months. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good morning.